What's going on, America? This is Kevin in Kevin's Corner. And, I just want to talk about President Obama's wonderful speech that he gave the other day in Illinois, where he came to talk about some of the current things that are going on right now around the United States. And it was such an absolute treat to hear from President Obama because, he's so inspiring. And I knew when they said that he was going to be talking, it was going to be something magnanimous, absolutely magnanimous. And boy, was it magnanimous. It was an absolute show in a good way. I mean, it was great. I tell you, he went over so many things that encouraged me as an American citizen. First thing, I just want to talk about is, how inspiring he was, because all of those young people really needed to hear from a wonderful president like President Obama. And I myself was excited. The speech I heard got high reviews, and of course, even me, I was like, wow, this guy came out and absolutely nailed it. It was just amazing, flabbergasting. I couldn't even, I was like, it took my breath away. I mean, I was thinking to myself, why didn't I ever notice how eloquent he was in the past, and how I missed it. I missed it somehow. And how sincere, and some of the wonderful topics that he touched on. First things first, he came out to support the amazing party that he represents. And that, of course, is the Democratic Party, who've done such a great service to the American public. And they have so many wonderful things to offer, which he covered. And he just wanted to stress to the people that, they might want to consider the effects of voting in November, just to make sure that we put the Democratic Party back into office, because they represent equality, they represent diversity, they represent, getting rid of corruption. These guys are the cream of the crop when it comes to politics. And that's what he wanted to stress when he came out and talked to those young people that he inspired so gracefully. And, he talked about how the Republican Party, which I didn't even know this, that the Republican Party is responsible for all of the division that's taking place right now, and how polarized it is, and how he wants to bring both parties together and find some common ground, and it's more so coming from the right. I didn't know that. I thought it was coming from the left, but it's coming from the right. President Trump and all of his horrible rhetoric, and of course, all the rest of the Democratic Party the Republican Party that seems to always want to talk about things that divide our country, like supporting stronger borders, things like looking out for America first, all of those divisive things, things like, lowering taxes so that Americans can make more money. These things are all divisive. Things like representing and supporting a Supreme Court justice to the bench that's going to uphold the Constitution. These things simply divide us. They don't make us better Americans. That doesn't make us better as a country. Those are things that are horrible for our country. And then he goes on to even talk about how threatening Donald Trump is when it comes down to the media. Under President Obama, he never did any of those things. He was very supportive of the media's right to go out and spread all kind of truth. Yeah. He wasn't saying that the media was the enemy of the people. That is ridiculous, And it's kind of like he just woke me up to see how divisive that the president is currently, and what he represents. He doesn't represent unity. When you say things like the press is the enemy, because I thought at first I thought he said the fake news was the enemy of the people. But after hearing Obama yesterday, or the day before, I think it was maybe Friday, after hearing him, I realized that he wasn't talking about the fake news. He was blankly talking about the whole press, which is not nice. He shouldn't have did that, And so as we move forward, I'm looking forward to President Obama continuing on the campaign and representing his party and coming out and talking, because I think he's doing us a great service, okay? And I hope he stays on the trail and never goes anywhere and just, retires or anything, because he is such an asset to America and to his party. So I really look forward to hearing more from him as he moves forward to help his party in November. I mean, because it was just such a inspiring, delightful treat to hear from him the other day. He hit us with all of his famous, hits, and I mean, he was so winsome and eloquent, and I don't know what else to say about it. I might have pegged him wrong all these years. He's a great guy, YouTube. He's wonderful. He was the best president ever, Twitter. And we're so excited to have him. He never divided us through, any type of race baiting or identity politics, Facebook. He's not doing that. So I hope if you're listening to me, that you're not going to stick it to me and demonetize me and all those things, because I'm saying good things about, President Obama and his wonderful speech, okay? And, I happen to just use a little sign language, for those that might be watching and can't quite hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. Anyway, God bless you. Find me on Facebook, on Twitter. Hit subscribe, the notification button. Check me out on Wednesday nights at 7:30 in Kevin's Corner. Check out my sponsor, which is Extreme Tees. Grab one of their shirts. Great shirts, fit great, feels good, all that good stuff. And if you want to support Kevin and Kevin's Corner, there's links in the bottom to do so. And we will see you next time in Kevin's Corner. Great job, President Obama.